okayfm 101.7.
Winner-Edudzi Tamakloe, aid, Edema former President Mahama. Na was signed a year, Melanimuni, a petition as some of the call ye, can't lawyer for so be. Yenin and Kike and Como. Lawyer Edudzi Tamakloe, watch channel pay.
Welcome, I'm a pay major also. Welcome, Mitchell, Etcha with you for Welcome.
A Tiavonia, Josina Boko, dear.
Welcome, Oba dear, Adaruma, Yahuye, Adum.
Na, me papa, ye Papa Kwame, Dramani Mahama, ne what to say?
Trading point, Nanko for Nadum, Woye, pa, Welcome.
Yeah, na, where dear, another be idea, mechanic say, ye, go for ye, num tea jammy.
The last time, say, Name no Casana Midnano. I don't know the Amana.
Oh, we nipa. It's a very nice man. Papa na, mami mrei. Nanwa da Supreme Court modia asenye yi sorry so da edano ya wadano. Na di akwakosie ene sei na me wu se ese ibi kwa na social media chese mo file mo addresses die ekosi ye ne sei enkomo to sei
yo Welcome. Wa unu say e dia 30th December 2020 ye file petition wo the Supreme Court registry no na ohia ya ye hu enkutanwudie by way of proceedings. So far, there have been almost 17 courts attendance. And on the last we are a year to other court, no, as I say, file address by close of the that was yesterday. Obwa the other Roma, a dia ya file. Inti siano na eyadia ye twense nyame adoma on the 4th of March no court November of judgment inti bra kwame mpepenso ayedu ano no
na se wodi emanfo kaka ya dwene a yenka ne se asambay na agya petitioners no yewura Dramani Mahama de court wo na yenhwe various applications nso ba mu kakra na afa yenhwe ba bia ya nante aba bedroi kakra wo case through kakra bi wo mrem se de be ya bi e be kaka ho ye bete ase sanse edu ba bia na court agya mobrofo no emu odene nti se court wa hyese obedi adanse e ba na ehun se o we ne bae wadawma
yo no okay right from the beginning no ye file in your mind be request to admit facts and a request to inspect documents. Subsequently now you said there was nothing relative to the request to admit facts no yanka say file a motion for interrogatories 12 questions na ye per se nankabe ya court no am I kwan na yema the chairperson of the electoral commission aja onu lady ensem menumi ensabi na oshe proceedings no so far most of the application I had by were not targeted at the second respondent. They were essentially targeted at the first respondent, and then they say oshe wogana ha would be a constitutional amendment to me, sir. Obey me, I then file and also conduct election no a electoral commission. Now essentially no your case very simple. So a bagana the returning officer of presidential election the chairperson of the electoral commission. Now your complaint before the court and they say instead of returning the election, she must return the election. Now, to the extent say, what misreturn the election, no, now if I say obey the back court, abedi one dance here. I say, Brakwame, Ejuma, Obia, Eye, say, oh, yeah, Ejuma, Nejuma, near fair. Nothing stops you. Say, Obeba Bontin, say, you, na wabedi, asem no home, and also Bible testify. At least Bible cracker or see the evening and in the one dance here. So be or what only your batron once a man or a returning officer, Agent Mensa, and nobody else. In the course of the whole trial, no, Oshaya, a bedroom baby crana or no file witness statement. Make I fancy a review on the interrogatories. Electoral Commissioner first respondent. FILA the FNO affidavit in opposition. Sir affidavit in opposition, no. And yet Sebio Dr. Serebo Kwaku in a deposit. And now say Bosman Asari and now Samuel Titi. A Jenmen Sankasa in a deposit to the affidavit. Okay, in clear terms, sir. Questions 12 now, petitioners, lawyers, no, person more administer, no. Who here now because remember under cross examination, those questions here bit me a in fact, okay, so during the review application on the interrogatories, okay, I am Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, no, or a member of the panel, Krabisa, Mr. Chikata. So, now, Mr. Chikata, as you understanding, say, those questions cannot be asked during cross-examination. Now, Mr. Chikata can't cry, so, when we get the way, first, we even ask you, how could you be asking questions that you claim are irrelevant in cross-examination? No, so, but we've not gotten there yet. Emma, very interesting.
Lawyer, Mamifa Bakukran Kang, Bakukrana, in one of the submissions, the Mete say, can say, a bus interrogatory scenario 12, now questions, and person Busano. Say, a Kobase, a could do cross examination. Some of them can be or maybe overruled.
Yes. I no credit and common. Among other things. Okay. You know, ye 3 witnesses, a mosquito, Bessa White doctor, and Ojo Metonono. That time I in a black woman. Now, the witness statement of Jemensa was on record. It has been found and served on us. So, you a case in our case, ABCD, and where do you prepare BBIV? And in fact, make I that day, pass the Germans are chronic for the first time ever court. Obviously, in anticipation of the cross examination, ever custom.
And I'm for gratitude in a classico.
Now, the SIA interest in Ukraine is because of where I sit, I could see everything that is going on with. Onokra started preparing, which means exchange of notes between any Mr. Samuel Tete, and all those things. So even she herself was in readiness, kind of. So it took us by surprise by way when the lawyers indicated that they did not. Now, I want to say by and they said that day now lawyers no cast you, they did not intend leading any evidence. Immediately, I will make an application based on Order 36 and Order 38. And no crown and my court no cast you no. So idea yen and the way proceedings. Now journey to the next day so that the matters can be argued in full. All those things were done. Bakwame, Sebi, media me position me won and they say if it was simply the case, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission is just any ordinary person. Media and can family too. Nanke Koba say, as some other courts no, it's just an ordinary land litigation and a debt recovery. Nanka media nanke family. But Sebi, this is about an election petition. In fact, the courts in some of the Commonwealth countries, I can say, when it comes to electoral dispute adjudication, okay, the rules must be interpreted in such a way, say, obenya an outcome at the end of the day, it helps to calm almost everybody down.
Etinamen can say the rules must be interpreted in spirit and letter.
In a manner, I may ensure say you resolve A, B, C. Look, recently, there
has been this court of public opinion. I can say, Anne, you talk law. It may be a marana dano, no amodia too. A binums where the court of public opinion, a binums there be. Sanye, as some son come ameno. Your money buying your busa bisani in Sembi, and then some no crano, say, court one year and 2 more. Then no so crano, ye whom said ye, a deni. And I
make her say, and I break I mean, I make her say, you see, sometimes when you have a court, Obenya victory, legal, quote unquote, legal victory. But lawyer for you will be a friend of Pyrrhic victory. What is it? Courts made the some amount, but the friend of victory pano onya, which means say ukra judgment all right too, but it means nothing because out there no obiajin say oh where dear oh say where dear oh where dear sort as here because you need to do a critical balance and also factor how at the end of the day the overture will echo out of the 4 corners of the courtroom. A very, very, very significant. In fact, recently, Malawi, omo election, opposition candidates, in fact, the incumbents, EC no declare incumbent no winner. The opposition candidates call before the Supreme Court of Malawi. Bakwame. No, there should be a rerun of the election. Well, I'm going to be some rerun opposition leader and win here.
Hey!
Yes. Rerun opposition leader, and I think he's even a pastor or a reverend minister or so. Opposition leader and win here. To the extent, say, Charterhouse, one of the most reputable civil society group in the UK, for the first time, Omo Award, I think President Kufuor wins our award in Nsopen. For the first time, that award was given to the Supreme Court of Malawi. Say Omo Jina Ho, regardless of whatever the incumbent president will do or say, and whatever, Omo Jina Ho can say, when it comes to presidential elections, what the petitioner needs to establish, in the words of the Supreme Court of Malawi, is a prima facie evidence of wrongdoing. It's enough for the burden to shift on the EC to justify the wrongdoings. What's what I say? So within the Commonwealth, some of these things exist. But like I always say, the long and short of it all, say, Yamiya Duma come the 4th of March. Yen Supreme Court for constituted by 7 justices. They'll give their judgment in respect of this. Once again, Mamenka say, Obiti say John Dramani Mahama. He's always had confidence in the institutions of state. Having become president before, no, he will be the last person obey ensure say institutions or an institution of state will be destroyed in the process. No. Or you will be institutions of state AD. Usually it's a judgment about, and you believe say ABA whatever you were asking for, Emma. Even as lawyers, the tradition at the bar is that, oh, you stand up and say, oh, as the law pleases, or I'm most grateful. You can decide, say, okay, I disagree with you, and write your critique. Make Kaipa Ebrana Nanado Danko Kufado Attorney General. No. Okay, Mr. Chikata Echo Court about the fast track high court.
Sure.
The constitutionality. So
justice after time.
Fantastic. So the ordinary bench, no, not justice after and come home. Into Emrana Court no ruling say the creation of the fast track high court was unconstitutional. No. You know, the Attorney General then, who was then Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo, a call for review. Now one was a review panel, and so no, Ekobasa who enlarge the panel. In the panel, no yedinkrofo no ebe ka. Sankrofo mienu na yede ka no. Eventually, no, they overturn the decision. Until subsequently, Nanado as Attorney General, a press conference. I think he had an encounter on the TV3 hot issue. Those days, not TV3 was on show, be hot issue. Very powerful.
Oh, yeah, hot issues, yeah.
Yes. Into Obaso. Na Obaso no na Omudin Komo about the decision in the fast track high court matter. No, so the decision by the ordinary bench was perverse. Yakasi be a perverse or potokasam na like wakankasam na say adia enye reasonable. Any dream enye pe. And yeah, you expect a reasonable person will do is perverse. Emanokra can say it is the worst decision to have come from the Supreme Court of Ghana. Emanokra can show the majority no decided in those days demonstrated artificial scholarship. I don't know what kind of insult, quote unquote, I will be to describe it. A judgment coming from the apex court than those words. So I say that is how he chose to describe the decision of that apex court in a decision obviously that he didn't like. What I say, but I'm very confident. Say whatever will happen on the 4th, no, will advance the democratic experiment. Like me, I always say, to the extent, say, now an electoral commission chairperson can decide, having organized or miswritten an election, decide say she will not testify, and that will be the end of it. Will be the kind. Also say, so one person we near. At least you should be the one trumpeting it. You don't even need anybody. And that is why Dr. Afarijan in 2012, on when we said declaration of why proper. And that the only thing that the petitioner there was asking for, and he said the votes of Ghanaians should be annulled because presiding officers are signing pink sheets, even though the agents are signing. and that vote should be annulled because pink sheets were the same serial numbers. I mean, those kind of things in our 2012 year they call courts. At the end, Afrajan, even with all the pink sheets, over 11,000 and what have you, he came out voluntarily and testified to his conscience. And the oath are OTK, because every electoral commission chairperson will be taking office now. You take an oath. So to his own conscience and the oath that he took, on mounted witness box, or justify the declaration now or year in 2012. Inti Brakwame, you do and Pempensua Sabi. In 20, maybe elections ahead of us, in future elections, all you need to do, whether fair, foul, guns, machete, whatever that you have to do to win the election, that is what is important. Because the EC chairperson declare that ends it. To be the court that EC chairperson.
Now,
with the president, with the president, I said it, and then on my court, and that will be the end. So now, from what as for me as a young politician, at the every proceedings when say it is the end that justifies the means. The OBE when we say election way about 8 people. Even if Sebi, where the man that so you have to kill innocent Ghanaians and have EC declare you as president. Now that is the acceptable norm. That's the new normal. Just do it. But such a thing, will be dangerous for your democracy. You're very, very, very dangerous. I can feel the pain. So if we decide to go on this path, we will be pressing the self-destruct button. And the ultimate loser will be all of us. Bakwame.
Lord, Mammy Musadia with you. Na enema bebre am submission e fa maame je mensa so obedia dance say oni dance no egina the issue anasa by estopel say various depositions are oyeye e wo affidavit in opposition or your straight no e say me begina da kanemu a begina da kanemu a etimukram one of your submissions no what did that issue of estopel by say eya no ho ba bia obo wo and our bomb and a one a mamma mutim close to case.
Yeah.
And Tino, nature say you were stopped by that.
One would say, for instance, Rakwame, Estopel work this way. What the one work has them. Okay. Ordinarily, no, only panel say only we need. But because a affidavit, no, what's well. One would say, it I say, oh, the unsabes share Bible, no account them, and I say, Sebu, what the way, where the Sebi, Mekai, I think 1999 or so, I'm near the open swore, say to Eddie away, say okra, the sword,
yeah,
no can't tam Kessie,
aha, pomponsiono.
Componsono. Also, Musa, a nostalgic moment. Anytime I watch that video, I could relish that whole thing.
Now, when the other one was it, sir, my friend him dear, my fan correct. Naman sum or Santamai, Naman sum Gana Maya,
Yananum,
enemy. Me tuna number, was, and I just said, what did you?
No casa crack sana nanka enye with you but we know was swear an affidavit. So what I say?
Lawyer, mommy, aha, and in the crab, me say, our lords, no, I can't say, and was swear that affidavits, no, any various depositions, you know, but was swear we no more ruling on that matter. Would you mean confirm some and some can't? How did the judge tell us they didn't rely on her deposition in making their judgment? They relied on that, actually.
Absolutely, it's an affidavit in opposition
in relation to the
exactly the subject matter.
The subject matter, yeah.
So as I say, and no crime now. Oh, share the day now. Yeah, cause a close case now. Omo coming out with it. Okay, black coming initially. Omo peer court no. Almost no. We have the right to make a submission of no case. Even though it's permissible in civil matters, there will no other consequences. The next day now, movie way no. Now they say no, they are not making a submission of no case. Now, black will be so. Say the question way rhetorical question. Witness statement now, Mami Jemensa. A course say EC FILA. What is the status of that witness statement?
So once farmer court to court to
it's still part of the record of the court.
Yes, still part of the record of the court.
It's still on record. Has it been withdrawn?
No, but it was not deposed to.
No, I agree. So I can't say deposition.
Okay.
We say witness statement.
Yeah, withdraw. And part of the court records, actually, yeah.
It's part of the court record.
Okay.
Yeah, can say. And so forever and ever, court be this record of proceedings on it will be a witness statement filed by the chairperson. And in this case, you can't say withdrawal was done by implication. Implied withdrawal. That be when we say a Supreme Court where it's a court of record. It is a filing motion cry and you no longer want to move it. The court will strike it out so that the record will reflect it was struck out. It's no longer part of the record. Another thing Sebio, okay, say as in petition by your papa Peter Macmenu only joy film for a year interview be. A man can say case way a coswa on the back court abe prove say go to crash on Mahamanya no Jemen Samani be. So okay.
Yeah.
Is it still standing by that testimony or that claim? Sorry. Say Peter McMahon our campaign manager. Mananado Dankwa Kufado. Essay or Adance DHS say EC chairperson Major Mahama votes wanya. And they're not about to honor akoye selection and not election. So it is even good for the second respondent say, what is na betuja. But you see, the only reason why Ebia Obibe Juanen say it fortifies the case of the petitioner. Said the election was flawed. And so they had to quickly backtrack, beat a retreat quickly. Say, say, yeah, court now, because swear I take an oath near the video you bought me. How am I going to say myself? So the best thing is I will not mount the witness box at all. I mean, Ghana for Ghanaians are discerning. They watch the proceedings and you make a very profound statement.
Lawyer,
who said yes, Brother?
What do you mean? See, do a chiripa, but question Uncle Fobusan say. One must see His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. One far dance here, now the Adansidi as Adansidi 4 and the buy. It is Yenny, I any mumremundi say, oh, at the end of my no there were disparities. Wa misrepresented. You know, said yes, yeah, canon. And Kamo Bay, now some Kamusumu Kuta, Mosum call later results.
No, Black Kwame, you see, Matessa conversation, but Oshia, they are two. You see, people are still caught up in the 2013 petition. Okay, in that petition, TNU petitioners, no, Nanado, Dr. Bamiani Jake, may his soul rest in peace. They no more canon say. Omo pink sheet so. Now pink sheet no mashe. Omo who say pink sheet ni bi no. Serial number na was no. Okay, and yet the same duplicates. Intino vote na I was a pink sheet no so no. Bogu even though your agents assign no. Boni na gu. Two. Omo say omo pick a pink sheet ni bi no. Omo who say presiding officers no unsign it. Even though omo agent are signing it, no. Yembo result ni nyinangu in over 11,000 pink sheets. That's ye bogu we are. Nanado will become the president because according to them, vote now what pink sheet are signing no should be declared invalid. Vote our pink sheets are have the same serial numbers, no, it should be declared invalid. And so once you invalidate those votes, no, you now get what in their view will constitute the actual valid votes. And on the basis of that, no, declare Nanado the president. So they were thinking, say, this petition, no, the same thing will happen. That is the misconception. In this case, your mama can say, Obi ono abeto abano, his vote should be invalidated. That be Obi adjoining queue abeto aba. You can't say, struggle I will go through in doing that and it should be invalidated. That be that's different from two. Say, JM Anna Jones mosquito eba court eba council. Yeah, coalition, no. Yenya 7 million votes. Black Kwame, would the court accept it as a valid vote?
I just say.
Me say. You mosquito about witness boss. Although NDC a coalition, your mama has 7 million votes. Would the court accept it?
And the son no dia ba sena dance no.
Good, but would the court accept it as a valid vote?
No, Debbie.
Because there's only one body.
Yeah, and also what they be contested the American yes.
Yeah, the only one body that in this country has the right to declare presidential results. It is the EC. So say NDC everywhere ban is completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. And yet the declaration now, many on the 9th. Now, when I was saying because I bear a year from 13 be now, ye mammy Mensa at the car and the witness statements. Some of us are beginning to suspect, in fact, Nina can one better testify. Because we are from 13 now, we're dating the 9th December 2020. And that Form 13 is supposed to be the presidential declaration form. And yes, sir. Under cross-examination of Professor White, the lawyer can say, Fabio, in fact, almost the copy by with sellotape around it. And also, Professor White, sir, Form 13 we know. On the 9th, no, ye pasty war. Strong room one. Your person was strong room one. And that's why I say it is not possible that you pasted that form 13 at the entrance to the strong room because we left our laptops in the strong room. Went per the instruction of the chairperson, came back to pick our laptops. No, so and you know, you never left. You never left your laptops. You left because you saw say GM lost, so you left. In fact, we use the word vamoose, melted away. These were the words I will use here. Then what the EC lawyer didn't know, and he said, after the election, Yaya Papa Peter Mark-Menu, I call Good Evening Ghana program so. You know, Polado much a interview. You know what Polado Paul Ebisano about Rojo and Co living, and that he should tell him what he knew about it. No, so and then no question on one person, almost few or crown, almost laptop cry ever. So quite clearly, they're not easy lawyer now can say they left the vamoose and they never came back and whatever. Could not be true. So clearly it was obvious if they allowed their witnesses into the box, all these things would have become apparent to Ghanaians. Said their course or no, maybe two. Which from 13 or no, because I can't witness statement, no. Now, what they think the 9th of December. Brakwame, can you imagine, say, the valid vote now, what that from 13 or so, that was not the vote she declared on the 9th. Vote now or declare on the 9th, no. And you know the presidential declaration form 13 now on one claim he said, what they can witness it. So where did she get the result that she declared on the 9th? Brakwame answer, wow. Wouldn't say the morning after the 9th, or you should press release be. Or say inadvertently, no, or use a different figure instead of the SU use it as the valid vote. So okay, that press release unsigned, no. Good. When we say figure now, it was that press release, no, that is not the figure on the form 13, the presidential declaration form. When we say. So the most logical question is, if the form 13 existed as at the 9th, how come say declaration now we hear on the 9th is not what is on the form 13? How come say the next day, what you can say that day no your mistake. The next morning now, what is a press release no by no. If you had that form 13, how come say figure now who could hear no it's not what? So it was obvious say if she had mounted the box. Would be so embarrassing even to the second respondent.
Now, Mami Radio.
No, you are a senior journalist.
I know.
After the fourth, go for GMN's witness statement. Mm-hmm. You can apply to the court. Attached to that witness statement is the form 13, and ask these critical questions even to the good people of this country. Say, how come say the figure valid votes now that presidential declaration form no. On the 9th now, yes, that declaration no. When you see that figure. 2. The next morning, Oba Bontin Beka say, why you from so into no was son. And Sayana quote correction now we hear crano. Again. And yet the figure now that form 13 no a valid vote. So why? So it was obvious if she had been put in cross-examination, Ebia or my money na would have seen.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Me na kabia madwem kyerɛ me sɛ anenkofo bi so aswintwam sɛ pɛ de mu ye ne de woman ne ebu akonta no enke bi anka saabre na ka mo ba court no e bia me kai sɛ mre bi kura me ho ayi bi on social media doctor bi amokofa no a na o cheche se ade no kura mo bu akonta
o bra kwa me ma te sɛ nkrofo make it that way. One who say the difference between these proceedings and the last proceedings, and they say, we share the 2013 now. Your evidence in chief, okay, you are led to say your story. Same way, mathematical calculation in mosquito witness statement. So, but you see, this time round, the only thing you see is cross-examination. You don't see the witness being led because in some way, so on can when you are leading him, no, you're sure. So unless you read out the witness statement, you even know what evidence was led in support. Now, say lawyer now or your cross-examination, if he finds out, say that part of your testimony, you will not cross-examine on it, that will not come out. In a lawyer, be a style of cross-examination. Will be on pet witness, and you say for us as practitioners, you develop some skills along the line. There are some witnesses, if you are a lawyer, put the accountant, say, at the back court. I will cross-examine him on accounting figures. Okay, on any accountant, law, legal accountancy. Okay, but it does not make you an accountant. So you are doing a cross-examination. I call for accountant. Witness. That is field. If you win him now, win him, accountants no big win massive. And across examination. So usually what you do is you just move, from the various landmines. So accountants no go anymore and across examination. So obi or your case now I say if I go on this line, I'll give this witness the opportunity to reinforce his case. So I won't even go there. So in this case, Nanka Dr. Hetobabe Yinano. Where in the witness statement of General Mosquito. Yes, and you see the principle of law say even when evidence is relevant and it's repetitive, the court can discard it or exclude it. And you see the basic principle of evidence. So, the basic principle of evidence law, evidence is not counted. You weigh evidence. That is why for a lawyer, you are looking
by this pronouncement, no more evidence, no more respondent in the Baba.
What you say?
By this pronouncement, no more evidence, no more respondents, no everybody chirimu and answer what the Baba.
That be one who say, like I say, you are the returning officer. Any returning officer between us and President Akufo-Addo, we didn't return the election, and we didn't return the election.
No,
it was returned by only one person. Eastern Region say, Sebi, the regional declaration results 2 in a by 1 by 6:30, na baako by 9:45. In fact, share and na sinakutampa across the Zami Rojo Metinunu. Or raise another 4. No, so it came in 8:47. Now judges Nubisan so this is not attached to any of the witness statements of the petitioner. It's a form now, Ukraino. It's not on record. Then he backed down. Okay. So even Eastern Region, 2 different forms nearby. The same election. What happened? Say Ayenswano. But way now, it cannot be.
Aye, Bibo, na se obi chantro. Me fan say the maami kan kura nye no kore. E wo mu a se eno no se obi challenge say na mo dia na mudi hu se maami nye no kura, then you prove your figure sem pacho. Ye kura ho no sheets or dem ye.
No, but first say do also nye no kura no. They also a genuine say na office ana. And also na exercises are no 9 different morning no press release different. Na press release no corrected versions on my website different. It is a mudia in use. And I say so far, so there has been only one declaration, and it's in CI 135. Brakwame. That is what I want to draw the attention of all of us to. So far, there has been only one declaration, and that is CI 135, dated 9th December. Has there been any other declaration? From 1992, when the presidential election I declare, figures no keep it changing that. When will be that? We are much older than me. So what that experience, you can share it with me. When will be that?
Mm-hmm.
This is the only time. This is the only time.
Hey, Mammy Musa dear we say, Mammy, ya man a quine, manama make witness box in more army and to tunano. More person ka modi through application beba na Mario pin case in court to no peninsula mamu. But dear a titi wam gidi say a hamo petitioners in the pan say, ma menanti ma witness box mu. Na wonu sokrano by the positions in ya who do can say beba na wa amma na court no so jitu mu say ma mena ma enye hwe. Will justice be served? In
answering your question, my scenario be okay. Dr. Yeni Eddie suit on the age of marginal middle. So okay, I suit no. At the end of the day, say Supreme Court can sue. He could not make a case. Until almost release Martin should stay. And so okay.
Yes.
Na yenu anoma ndie momumi ene ehu arosie ewo omamu ha so kai
me wie kura na frɛ no me tin nka che bra Martin
yo sa relationships na ekosi sen
ja ya tete ho ana etwachiri di
bra kwa me bi sa o sa nyonko fa no ekosi sen
angozi we
unu say ko ba ya pe mi sia mi nu anu mo say that's a Supreme Court grand man anka omo yi papa you crowd she do gwa sia o dia be yen
o but say Martin there
ye nipa da sani ya dwinsi nim
ayi Martin there me minim so oka no kore Martin ena adwuma ye de man no so ye pa uni so bad man dem
say bra kwa me say Sanyongo Fano Ekosi say.
As your program being
our friends had wished to say the man was removed earlier. Now, Nipa Kwan Yamia Kwan yo. Nipa Kwan. And to say Yamia Kwan. Yanshe. The Ubina Kaye, Ebakusi. Fear your memoir. Me say. Sadia na Martin Amidu Anyonko Fano Ekosi saying mother serpent of corruption.
One is so broken you out to Anton Bossy.
Black Kwame. Said one with your walk. I've been here and we say, said Nanka Bay say Nanka. Satan na late.
I see. Now, me want someone fire.
When you say photocast and you baby, or say God works in mysterious ways.
It go be quite catchy.
Okay.
Now, me do we are. My address is now more filing. Where the money come out to the but they say it's all over. Our social media. And the ben a woman who bet me a check a crack. So where the
and your man crana ma basically ma ye way ma summarize it in the conversation. You're very rich, very rich. Na ye the address a court. Expectation is a court no anything action, and that is why we have addressed them. I won't say anything more.
But Muba say oral addresses.
The other day, Master Sachishigata, my court knew say, is it possible say we'll get the opportunity to highlight a few? And our court can say they'll look at it, and if they are the need for some clarification, they will do that before the 4th. So let's see how it goes. Bakwami.
Brahmadas Pana, I like you, Nisafuseni. Would you achieve some court? Ekoposi aswe ekosi saying.
Oh, Black Kwame, wouldn't be fair on the 24th of December, Metro, your firm Metro letter, Emma Medical CID headquarters. Now, subsequent to that, Yanyam Wabia fee based on the letter, unknown to us, CID for no call police for courts, Echo J, the FNO criminal sermons. Last Monday, then draw your attention, said there are criminal sermons and that it has gone through substituted service. In China, I say, Meneno Enko. I had to go and represent him back with me. If you want to judge me, so since I'm taking a statement, Krano, then go back to the CID headquarters for the statement to be taken. Interior investigation team agree on the issue of bail. Interior if you know.
What was why then?
Almost section 207 offensive conduct a bit me breach the peace. And Bonnie almost why and say on the Alhaji program, or can say, Nankonunya Obetu Mahamafo to form a para government. Na Omun Tia Sintia Onutimi a cancer. In fact, young much earlier in a year, PK critical intel, IHSO, initially, police authorities know obviously from order from above. So he should be charged for abatement of say almost treason and ABB. Some lawyers within the can say, you cannot abet when you don't have a substantive offense. There must be someone who has done something I want to know abet it. Incitement of say routing and adding to route and also almost say no. The routing must first take place, and he being the one inciting. Into the last one, let's look at section 207. Into EAD background.
No, I made us an pay.
And pay me that so pass one man sir, I couldn't meet ya Ghana for so.
Ghana for you, so bye. Lawyer go to Winner-Edudzi Tamakloe. 8 to former President Mahama. Any click on okay 101.7. So Pacho could
okayfm 101.7.